what's good, everybody? Welcome back to L Dubs Boxing. We're back again with another pre-gaming show. We got the fight week, November 28th through the 30th. So we got actually a good fight week. A lot of good fighters. There's a lot of boxing all across the board. So we're going to touch on it. Before I get into it, I want to salute everybody coming through the building. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe. Salute to the playback. I appreciate you guys coming through the building. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get it popping. All right, so let me check this chat. Salute to CJ in the building. What's good with you, bro? Yes, sir. And everybody else coming in, I appreciate it. So we're gonna start with this card right here on Friday. So this is the return of Igis Kavalasis, um, the Mean Machine. He's gonna have a homecoming fight in Lithuania. He's gonna face Samuel Molina. It's for the EBU title, European title. Mean Machine is probably in that top 10 area with the welterweights, the way the welterweight division is structured right now. It's pretty much wide open, to be honest. Even though Devin Haney proved himself to be probably the number one guy right now, but there's other guys in this little second tier like Mean Machine, Alexis Rocha, all these guys, Raul Correa. There's a lot of guys, Karen Shikazian. They all in that mix where they can make some noise too. Jack Calderon. It's a lot of actually one 47 is actually opening up and starting to look like a good division if we can get everybody to match up. But yeah, Eagles is a strong puncher. You know what I'm saying? Sturdy, got a good jab. Been around for a while, so he's getting towards the end. He got to make a break against Molina, who is capable, good fighter. I think he's from Spain. So this is a solid fight, man. Hopefully we get some TV for this. I know they're doing the prelims on the YouTube channel. So we'll see if we can get some live action on Friday. So yeah, Mean Machine is in that mix. When you talk about the welterweight division and you start to run down the names, Mean Machine is still up in there as well. All right, moving on. We have a card from South Africa. So yeah, we got a good main event with Ricardo Macleket versus Vince Paris. That's at junior bantamweight. That's 115. So this is I think it's an IBO title on the line. So yeah, um, I hope I can get some a link to watch this because I like watching fights all over the world. You know what I'm saying? But this is a card I wanted to point out. Hopefully somebody, you know what I'm saying, from South Africa or something drop in with a link or something. Because it's a lot of good fights across the world really that we should be able to see, you know what I'm saying, with the technology and everything. But some of these cards be off the radar. So I'm gonna try to look for this for sure. We have a card from Thailand. This is we can catch this on Triller TV. So I'm not sure if everybody is tapped in with Triller TV. They still show boxing and stuff like that. They had a couple of cards last weekend. But this one right here, it's so the WBC is about to do their convention coming up. So this is like the start of that. You got the notable guy I know on here is Konsong. I think he fought Josh Taylor back in the day when he was Josh Taylor's mandatory, and Taylor he stopped him like in one round with a body shot. So that's like the notable guy on here. So yeah, if you guys want to tap into some fights on Triller, you know what I'm saying, from Thailand, here you go. Here's one. This is Triller again, and this card is in Canada. The notable guy that I recognize is Steve Rose. He's a former middleweight French contender, fought Triple G, Edgar Berlanga. He been there with everybody. Last time I seen him, he got stopped by Steve Butler. I think that was the first round. So he's on this card. Yeah, card from Canada, Triller TV. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, more boxing for everybody to tap into. Uh, don't you have? Yeah, you do. Yeah, unless you have a subscription. I have a subscription to Triller. I've been had it I've been having a Triller subscription since Cambosis and Teofimo. I still got that shit. But yeah, you do. Let me see. Here's a good card. I wish we had some TV for this. I'm still looking around for it. But they got some notable names and some good, pretty much 50-50 fights. Wasim versus Juggernaut. from Thailand. They fighting for the bantamweight title. It's a WBA. I think they fighting for the gold title. Pete Dobson versus Jesus Sriracha. That's a good fight right there. They fighting at 154. Pete Dobson is a guy. He's pretty much like a gatekeeper type of fighter. But if you ain't on your game, you can lose. And Sriracha be having up and down performances. He have a hard time making weight as well. But that's a solid matchup. Mahmoud versus Zanaya. Those are two fighters moving up to 147. Zanaya is like a boxer. He move around the ring, and Mahmoud Southpaw from France is a good boxer too. He been around. He had some good fights at 140, so that's a pretty good 50-50 matchup. Alex Demogani gonna face Eduardo Baez, so that's another one. That's a 100. No, that's a featherweight contest. That's another good fight right there. Should be pretty good action because both guys, like they come to fight. They want to sit in the pocket and fight. And then you got Jimmy Kelly. He's fighting for a middleweight regional title, WBA Asia title. So yeah, I remember Jimmy Kelly not too long ago. He came into the new WBA rankings like at number 11, but then they took him out like a couple of months after that. So I didn't know what that was meant for, but he was ranked recently. So that's what it is. Still looking for a link for this one. Here's a card from the Netherlands. Now we can catch this on the zone. So you do have some notable guys on this card. Kraus versus Abraham. They're gonna fight at light heavyweight contest, 10 rounds. Kraus, they was bigging him up. His team. I watched the WBO convention, and it was a representative from his team that was bigging him up, talking about he's gonna be like the pound for pound fighter. I seen him fight before, bro. I don't see that. I don't see that talent. Maybe I'm tripping, but he is a silent fighter though. This is look like a step up for him, so we'll see. You got Huey Fury is on the card. He's gonna face Michael Webster. Man, it seems like Huey been around forever, bro. He got a crazy career. He 30 and 3, and it seems like he just been around for a long time. Ain't really have a lot of big step up fights. I mean, Joseph Parker, he's still at the same type of level he been fighting at. Like I feel like he fought Joseph Parker a long time ago in a fight that he probably edged out. Povetkin, what I'm saying? He fought Povetkin. I forgot the other loss he had. But I feel like he's still fighting that same level. He should beat Michael Webster pretty easy. But it feel like they moving him like a prospect still. And he long away from that. He should be in the mix with these Queensberry heavyweights. You know what I'm saying? He should be in the mix. But we'll see. So you can catch this card on the zone on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Marlon Prince was good. Yeah, Liam got a big victory over the this morning. Salute to him. Boxed real well. Scored a late round knockdown in the 10th round to seal the deal. Now he the IBF mandatory for Angel Leo. That's what's up. Salute to him. I was watching that. All right. We have a boxer show. So this is a rescheduled card from October 25th. It got pushed back because TKV was injured. So they rescheduled for this Saturday, November 29th. This is Boxer's first show with their new platform, BBC Sport. So it's like like free TV in the UK. Haven't heard any US TV. I'm still looking. Normally, Boxer they put their cards for the US on Triller, so I'm gonna be looking forward to that. But this fight right here, Frazier Clark versus TKV, is actually a pretty competitive. It seems like it'll be pretty competitive. Frazier Clark is the Olympian. You know what I'm saying? We know he had 2 fights with Fabio Worley. The first fight was like a fight of the year candidate. The second fight, he got destroyed in one round. TKV, he coming off a knockout loss to David Alger, where he got he was in a break and he got hit on the break and then he never recovered. But he was boxing real well. He was actually winning that fight pretty easy, just boxing and being smart. So let's see if we bring that to the table. I think these guys are pretty equal. They fight for a British title, so that's what it is. And then you have Francesca Hennessy is on the card. She is like very entertaining with her ring walks and stuff like that. This is a step up for her. She's facing Fabiana Bakwi. This is a tough fight for Hennessy though. Even though she got some skills and stuff like that, and she fights at 122. We're gonna see if she can take the next step. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is a good fight for her, and we'll see. Hopefully, we get, like I said, US TV for this one. Does Elaine wait for Leo, or does he take a stay busy fight? I don't know. I mean, I don't know how that work in his position for him to take a stay busy fight if he's not with like a big promoter. I know he's working with Pacquiao. I'm not sure how many dates they have to keep him busy, unless he go take one of those under the radar fights on these local shows. So I would say him being at 34, 35 years old, he'll just wait. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll just wait. If Leo has unification, yeah. Well, if we got unification, of course. Um, maybe yeah, for sure. But I don't know if he want to be taking too many fights at his age, right? Because he already for how many eliminators? So I'm pretty sure he's just gonna sit and wait. I mean, if he stay active, maybe some low key shit. But I don't see him taking nothing real. OTB in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute to you. Yes, sir. So I'm gonna see when we can if we can get this some US TV for this card right here. I'm trying to tap in with it. All right, Matchroom has a card coming up this weekend. We have the Matchroom debut of Whitaker. Ben Whitaker is making his Matchroom debut. It's interesting, right? That Boxer is going head to head with Ben Whitaker after Ben Whitaker left. They even got the same color in the poster. Look, same color and shit. That's funny as hell. But Ben Whitaker is fighting Ben Grazovic. I'll probably pronounce his name wrong, but no, what's his name? Ben Grazovici. I don't know. But he's facing this kid for the WC silver title. On this undercard, you have Zephyr Barrett. He's back. He fights at 130 pounds. He's been around for a while. Molly McCann, she's a former UFC fighter. I think this is like a second or third fight. She's on the card. You got a good looking middleweight prospect. Aaron Bowen is on the card. I like him. And then you got Suleiman is on the card. Abhim Suleiman. I seen him fight a couple of times. He fights at junior lightweight, 130. He's pretty solid too. So yeah, I want to tap in for this. We have a good we got a good co-main event. It's a rematch. So this one will be live on the zone. You got Cameron Vaughn versus Gavin Gwynn. So the first fight, I thought Gavin Gwynn won the fight. It was a step up because Gwynn has a lot of experience. Even though he got some losses, but he been around. He fought damn near everybody at the domestic level, and Vaughn had some issues in that fight. So it's good that they running it back. I think he had another fight, and then he came into this fight. He had a fight in between. They didn't do the rematch straight away. So let's see. Vaughn is the younger guy. He seemed to have the most talent, but the style matchup was crazy because Gwen is more rugged, crafty, and he made the kid fight. So let's see. Ben Whitaker, though, he's looking to move up in the light heavyweight division. He's facing this kid, Grazovic, for the WC silver title, and it's like a step in his ascension to the hierarchy at the 175. We know what we got at the top. We got Bivol, unified champion. Benavidez is a WC and WA regular. We still got Peterbiev. You got some top guys up there. And you got David Morrell, you have Callum Smith, you have Joshua Waxy, Anthony Yard can come back. So Whitaker is basically starting a new path with Matchroom. I mean, he can be a big star because he got a big social media presence, but he can't fight. I know he's been going viral because of his antics in the ring and shit. But real talk, if he just fight like regular without the antics, he's nice. Like he ain't become an Olympic silver medalist for no reason. So I like Ben Whitaker. I think I watched the kid fight his opponent. It's kind of basic to me. You know what I'm saying? He is a solid counter puncher, and he got above average hand speed. But I think Ben Whitaker gonna be too much for him. Let's see. You know what I'm saying? Because this will be a start for him to get big fights. So if he get through this guy, he supposed to come. He supposed to fight in the U.S. in February. So February, that sound like on the undercard of Nunes and Navarrete. Matchroom got a card in February with Nunes and Navarrete. So him fighting there against a notable light heavyweight, I can see that. Welcome him to the U.S. public. I can see that. And then after that, he got to do a domestic fight with either Joshua Bawaxi, Anthony Yard, Lyndon Arthur. Those after these first two fights, he can fight one of those guys, one of those three, and then he can move on to the bigger and better names. Eventually, fighting for a world title. But first things first, we'll see how he look on his Matchroom debut. I think he will shine though. He's with Andy Lee, and he looked good in that rematch fight that he had against Liam Cameron. So I expect more of that at this fight. Andrew Gray was good with you, bro. Salute. Was he paying? I don't know how much he was paying him. I guess he gave him a bigger bag than Matchroom to secure him because it looked like he was supposed to sign with Matchroom, but he ended up signing with Boxer. But I'm not sure how much he was getting paid. Yeah, he do. He looked better. Yep, he looked better, way better with Andy Lee. So yeah. All right, moving on. We got this card from Cuba. So this is Aegon Sports. It's a promotion company out in Germany. So they hosting a card in Cuba. So y'all know this would have been never thought of about 5 years ago, but they actually been having cards in Cuba as of late. They lifted the ban for boxing. So you got Erislandy Alvarez versus Jimenez. This fight is at 140 pounds. Um, Alvarez is nice, Olympic gold medalist, Olympian, nice. I think he better than Andy Cruz, to be honest. Cruz is nice too. I ain't taking away, but this Erislandy Alvarez kid, he nice. Once they get him in position to fight and get him some experience, he gonna be one of those those Cuban fighters. Those Cuban fighters now is different now. They ain't doing the Cuban school of boxing like Rigo and shit like that. They actually dangerous now. So I'm looking forward to him. Lazaro Alvarez, that's another one. He fighting at lightweight for this fight. He's facing Raul Hernandez. So yeah, that's cool. I hope I get some TV for this because I want to see these two guys right here. They nice. They only got a couple of fights too. Goslam, he's fighting for IBF regional title on this card. I think he only got one loss. I forgot his record. 19-1, I want to say. I don't know. So yeah, man. I like this though. Having boxing in Cuba is the way different from how I grew up watching boxing. I know those guys have to escape Cuba. Now they can escape and come back and do a card there in front of their people. So that's dope. I ain't gonna lie. I like that. So we'll see. All right, we got a card down in Pachanga, Temecula, California, this weekend. This is a Manny Pacquiao promoted card, headlined by Elijah Pierce versus Lorenzo Parra. It's supposed to be a WBO final eliminator. The winner is the mandatory for Rafael Espinoza. Manny Pacquiao's son is making his pro debut. So this is what it is right here. Here are more guys on the card. So we recognize Luis Arias. He's on the card. We know about him. We have a good young fighter from Southern California that's on the card. Maybe you guys know or don't know. I want to highlight him right now. Terry Washington, southpaw, real aggressive, got a lot of power. You know what I'm saying? He be sleeping these guys. He's actually fighting his first 10-rounder uh, early in his career and fighting for a WBC regional title. He's on the card. This card is supposed to be on ESPN Plus. Manny Pacquiao worked out a deal with ESPN and ESPN Plus and ESPN Knockout to show some of his fights there. So he's going to be ringside, of course, to see his son, but he's going to start actively promoting cards in the United States. And we know Elijah Pierce is one of his fighters. Elijah Pierce also fights with overtime. So he kind of like got like a co-promotional thing working. But he has an important fight, very important fight, a dangerous fight too, because this Lorenzo Parra is a big puncher for Venezuela. These guys were supposed to fight a long time ago, a couple maybe last year, but it never came to fruition. But this dangerous. Elijah Pierce is one of the most exciting fighters in boxing, real talk, because he's vulnerable. He get hit, he get knocked down, but he always get back up and get the stoppage. This fight right here, I like to see him more intensive on his defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I know he can punch and he like to be aggressive, but this kid Parra is he can fight. He just had a draw, a disputed draw with one of the top 15 guys, top 10 guys in the division, Omar Trinidad. It's a fight that he probably should have won, to be honest with you. But so Elijah Pierce ain't tough. But I believe if he box smart, fight, fight is, I didn't say fight in spurts, but fight when you want to and dictate the pace, and then he can always be able to land his power, but he opened himself up too much and he get dropped early, and sometimes that can come back to haunt you. So it's gonna be an exciting fight. The winner get an opportunity to fight Rafael Espinoza, which he's the man right now in this division. So let's see what's up. It's interesting though. So we catch this on ESPN Plus coming up. Let me see. He said Cubans fighting off the back foot now, not just the front foot dominant anymore. Nah, they getting busy. Morrell, they trying to switch up Andy Cruz style, but she got a great fight coming up against Raymond Tyler in January. I'm looking forward to that too. All right, so we're back again with another Pro Box show. This is November 29th up in Fresno. We got Justin Pardo versus D-Ran. Yakovov versus Cruz. So pretty solid card. I know Yakovov was originally supposed to fight Jesse Magdaleno, but Jesse pulled out. So we got a new co-main event. This is actually a real good card. I ain't gonna lie. Yakovov, he got a couple of world rankings across the board. He fought Shocky Foster a couple of years ago, I think 2021. He's a good southpaw fighter, strong. He coming off a good win over William Foster. William Foster beat De Los Santos. So that was a good win for him. He's facing the late replacement, Christian Cruz. So that's solid. Eric Badillo versus Elvin Soto. This might be one of the best fights on this card. Eric Badillo is the WBC mandatory at 108 pounds for Carlos Canizales. Canizales is going to defend his WBC title next week at the WBC convention against CP Freshmart, the former champion at 105 pounds. But Badillo, he has to win this fight to keep his position with the WBC. He's facing former champion Edwin Soto. This is going to be fun, too. Edwin Soto was a former WBO champion, kind of faded recently as of late. But I think these guys' styles going to match up real well. You got La Cobra. She's back. La Cobra Ruiz. She's fighting Alexis Kobecki for the vacant WBC title at 115 pounds. Now, this is odd right here because Kobecki is just coming off a knockout loss at 112 when she fought Gabby Fondor in September. It was a late replacement, but she got stopped. Ruiz, she lost her WBC interim title to Jenny Fuchs last year on the Pacheco and Selecki undercard. How's this for the vacant WBC title? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Ruiz got. I don't know. She tapped in with the WBC. As far as the matchup though, it should be pretty solid though. Quebecky, she like to come forward. She's aggressive. She couldn't do nothing with Gabby Fondor. A lot of these fighters can't. But this is a more suitable matchup because Ruiz, she want to fight, so she's gonna be there to let them hands go. So it's not a bad fight, yo. But for the WBC title, is wild. And then you got Charlie Sheehy versus Keys. I forgot his first name. D'Angelo Keys. So Charlie Sheehy is a local guy. I think he got let go by Top Rank, so he's just been doing his own thing. So yeah, he's on this card. Also, Carlos Balderas is on this card, former Olympian, U.S. Olympian. He's supposed to be on the same level as Teofimo. He was actually rated higher than Teofimo coming out the amateurs, but his career kind of faded. Got a couple of losses, but he's trying to get back on track. He's training with Robert Garcia, so it's a solid card. Y'all know pro box don't really have a lot of lopsided fights. On paper they be looking like 50-50. And so pretty much gonna be the same thing here. So I'm looking forward to it. Pro Box TV. You can catch it on YouTube. He said I like Pierce a lot, but he got too much dog in him. Yeah, he need to clean up his defense. Clean up his defense, he'll be alright. Um, he said Rodriguez is another solid up and coming Cuban. I bet I'm gonna look out for him. There's a lot of good Cuban fighters that's coming through. Yes, sir. And just to touch on the main event, Justin Pardo, um, lightweight, kind of like a French contender right now. He's maybe one or two fights away from a title fight. I know he was in the running to get the Keyshawn fight before they chose De Los Santos. He's facing Nike Duran. Pardo, he had a kind of up and down 2025. He had a highlight reel knockout over former champion Shakran Rachmanov. Highlight reel. But then his next fight he missed weight, and then the fight had to get canceled. It was the same day as actually it's crazy. The same day that Keyshawn that was supposed to fight in June, that was his fight day too. He missed weight. His fight got canceled, but he bounced back and got another win like maybe 2 months later in San Antonio. So he's back. Justin Pardo is a good boxer puncher. He's solid. He's been around for a while. He been on this pro box TV scene and been fighting some solid fighters. And I expect him to win. Like I said, he's not too far from a world title. You know what I'm saying? Given the opportunity. Like for example, Abdullah Mason, if they want to take him home to Cleveland and have a homecoming fight, Justin Pardo may fit that bill. You know what I'm saying? To come in as a B side for the opportunity. I think he do have a world ranking with the WBO. So this is an important fight. You got to stay even with the winner of Andy Cruz and Moratala, a lot of times when these fighters become champion, they want to take a voluntary and then maybe go home and celebrate that type of shit. And Pardo may fit that bill because he's a good fighter, but we don't know if he's A level. So y'all know how that shit be working. So we'll see. And the last card I'm gonna touch on. This is on Sunday, so November the 30th. So we got a card on the zone. You guys can tap in. It's gonna be in the UK, York Hall. So yeah, we got a Commonwealth title on the line. Urso versus Amos. These are welterweights fighting, but it's a nice little card. About 9 to 10 fights on the card for everybody to tap into. So we got a lot of boxing to cover. Not so much like the big names like we had last week, because last week was crazy. But it's kind of low key in the big name department. But we still have fights for sure. That's like the main thing, to have boxing at all times, right? So that's what it is. Also on this card, this is a light heavyweight, Malik Zanad. He can fit in. He can be in the mix with guys like Ben Whitaker too. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Anthony Yard coming back. He fought Dimitri Bivol on short notice and got stopped in 7 rounds. He took that fight after having a fight. He had won a fight like 5 weeks prior, and then Bivol was looking for an opponent, and then this kid jumped in, and that was Bivol's last stoppage in a long time when he stopped him in 7. So he's on this card as well. So that's what it is, man. Still got some good boxing. If you guys want to refer back to the schedule, you can tap into the website, ldubsboxing.com. I got the schedule up, so you guys can go over there and tap in. Or, wherever you find your schedules at, feel free to tap in. Just make sure y'all tap into this boxing for sure. Yes, sir. Salute to everybody coming through the building for sure. I appreciate it. What are the chances of Gilsoft getting a title shot against Haney? Um, like a percentage, I'm gonna say like 3%, 2%. Uh, the only connection those guys have, if they have the same lawyer, Pat English. Other than that, I don't see I don't see it because it's not a high profile fight for Haney. Um, he's with Eddie Hearn, so I don't know if he want to do business with Eddie Hearn right now the way he been talking about him, and I don't think that business makes sense for him. Giasov will probably I don't know what exactly what he's gonna do, but I can see him taking a WBA interim title fight versus somebody while he allow Rolly and Pacquiao to fight. So yeah, I don't see him getting the Haney fight, to be honest. And to be honest, I don't see him fighting nobody that Matchroom has. Um, no, that's not true. Wrong organization. Giasov is the WBA mandatory. He's the WBA mandatory for Rolly. Rolly and Giasov just passed the deadline, the 30-day deadline for negotiations, free negotiations. Now they're about to have a purse bid in a couple of weeks, probably at the WBA convention. So yeah, that's the wrong organization. So that's why I was saying I don't think Haney would fight him. Devin Haney was the mandatory for Brian Norman. Now since Devin Haney won the WBO title and he's a super champion, he got that prestige by being undisputed. Devin Haney don't have a mandatory in the WBO for 18 months. You know what I'm saying? Nah, don't mess with them. I got you covered, bro. Giasov is a WBA. Or go to their website. Check out the website. The WBO just updated last week, so they're not gonna have the results of what happened with Devin Haney and Brian Norman. But the WBA, yeah, they been ordered. The WBA been ordered. Rolling. Let me show you something real quick. Educational purposes. I'm gonna go to the WBA rankings right quick. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're good on this. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to learn myself. So if I can share some information, I want to make sure I share it. So what I'd like to do, I like to go straight to the sanctioned body website. That's why I covered this on my channel. Go straight to the website, bro. Every sanctioned body. Let me show you real quick. So go to the rankings, real easy, right? So let me show you. Welterweight. So put this right here. Did you know Giasov accepted step aside money to allow Boots versus Stanionis in April? He actually fought on that undercard. That was part of his step aside package, right? So he was supposed to fight the winner between when Boots moved up, he was super champion. Boots moved up, that left Rolly as the only champion. So Giasov was the mandatory. He inherited Boots mandatory, and Rolly supposed to fight him. So if you come to the WBA website, if you see OC by the fighter's name, OC means official challenger. You know what I'm saying? These other acronyms, these other abbreviations, that's like the international title, Continental America's title, Continental North American title, and so on and so forth. But if you see OC, that's the mandatory. You know what I'm saying? So if you go in there and tap in, you'll see that. Let's go to 140. Here's another example. Andy Hirako, mandatory. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you see OC, that's a good indicator that that's the mandatory. So I want to show that to you. So yeah, Wikipedia be off a lot. I would go straight to the sanctioned bodies or tap in with me. I got you covered. I appreciate you coming through as well. But yeah, because a lot of people don't know the ins and outs. Because I've been doing these rankings and covering these rankings for damn near 4 5 years, bro. I ain't gonna lie. This is part of my niche on YouTube. While everybody else doing other type of content, boxing content, I just stick to a couple of things and just get good at it. Right. Um, the news and notes, what fights coming up, the fight we schedule, and the ranking. So I stick in between those three genres in boxing. I ain't talking about nobody's purse, their fingernails. I ain't protecting no fighter. I ain't doing none of that shit like that. So it ain't no TMZ type of uh, channel for y'all. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna come get a lot of knowledge and stuff like that. That's what we on. So yeah, I've been so my time covering the rankings and shit and seeing the ins and outs. I know this little stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's how I can predict fights real easy because I go to the rankings and be like, hold on, he just popped into the new rankings and he just beat a guy that we never heard of. He must have a fight coming up against one of the top guys. So that's how I be predicting shit. I ain't gonna hold you. said, damn, notifications don't be working for me. Oh shit, my buzz, bro. I don't know what's going on with him. Appreciate the knowledge. I appreciate you coming through, Blunt Sports. Salute. I was assuming because Rolly was supposed to be fighting Pacquiao. Yeah, so that's what they're trying to work on. PGA's Big Dog, what's good with you, bro? So, this why I learned too. PBC, they ain't so quick to announce fights. They take their sweet ass time. So Pacquiao came out and said June 24th, I'm fighting. That's what he said. So he's the man. So if he say he fight June 24th, he fight June 24th. Then it came out about him fighting Mayweather in April. Well, I don't know, but I know from just asking around and talking to people, Rolly Romero has been the target. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I know they've been working on that. I guess they're trying to work out a deal with Giasoft to either get him another step aside agreement, or get him a internal title fight on the undercard so you can satisfy him. I don't know, but that shit takes time to make that fight because you got a bunch of shit that can that can block it. Also, too, working on the undercard. We haven't heard much about Fundora and Thurman. I was thinking that was going to be on the undercard of Pacquiao and Rolly. So we'll have to see, though. I think it's getting close to that time because normally PBC announces cards maybe 6 weeks out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. So if you look at it, we right on time. Because if they announce Pacquiao's fight during the fight week or the fight after the week after Pitbull Cruz and Lamont Roach, they right on schedule. Announcing before the holidays. You know what I'm saying? So I can see that. And look, here's another indicator that Pacquiao's going to be fighting soon. He been in LA for the last 3 weeks. Pacquiao just don't come to the U.S. just to be chilling. You know what I'm saying? He spent his time in the Philippines when he ain't doing shit. He been in LA for like 3 weeks. He ain't over here just to be, you know what I'm saying, running. You know what I'm saying? He ain't up here just to go to Hollywood, you know what I'm saying, look at the stars and shit. You know what I'm saying? He here to train. Plus he have a card coming up this weekend I just touched on. So I look at those little indicators and shit and those little context clues and I'll be putting that shit together. So if he's already here, he's probably getting ready for a fight. And looking like the end of January. He even came out and said it. So we'll have to see. They got to get the business right. Also, too, you listen to what Eddie Hearn say. Eddie Hearn don't even mention Giasoft. He said Conor Benn versus Rolly. You know what I'm saying? Conor Benn versus he don't even mention his guy Giasoft. So either he's not working with Giasoft any longer, or he just don't fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So yeah, bro, I'll be paying attention to shit for sure. Um, yes, sir. He said, I always appreciate it. He said, don't forget to smash the like button. Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. Yes, sir. Salute for that. Yeah, I think, yeah, he ain't count. For sure, he ain't count. And like, he doing double. For me, he getting ready for a fight, and he getting ready to promote his event on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? See his son fight and all that good shit. Rolly is in camp too. So another thing that I do, just go to these guys' social media. Go to their Instagram. I follow everybody on Instagram. Any boxer, trainer, manager, all that shit. Because they'll basically tell you. I follow Ismail Salas, their coach. He trains Rolly. So I seen in the gym last week, he had Rolly in there. He had David Morrell. He had what's the other kid name? I forgot the other kid name, but he had those guys in there doing drills and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that tell you everything. This is close to the holiday season, and you see guys in the in the gym hitting the bag and going all hard and shit. You know what I'm saying? They ain't doing that shit just to be doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because boxers, when they really take off, they take off. They get away from boxing. You really don't see boxers in the gym unless they got a fight coming up. So yeah, I'm nosy as hell, bro. That's how I be figuring shit out. I try to be a step ahead of everybody. But yeah, that's my time, man. Salute to everybody coming through the building. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. That's my time, and I'm out.